John Kerry, you got some splaining to do, according to a shocking new report. Throughout President Trump's time in office, Democrats formed a kind of shadow State Department and worked with Iranian officials to undermine the Trump administration's strategy. The Washington Times claims Kerry was often in contact with the Iranians and, quote, "These relationships blossomed into what high-level national security and intelligence sources say allowed the Iranian regime to bypass Mr. Trump and work directly with Obama administration veterans that Tehran hoped would soon return to power in Washington," end quote. This is the same Iranian regime that just today said they plan to happily enrich uranium as much as they want, because fun. John Kerry has denied trying to undermine the former president, but if he did, should there be consequences, and was it illegal? Here to break it down, former CIA officer and chairman and CEO of Portman Square Group. Get your square today. It's Mike Baker. Welcome back, Baker.
Hey, thank you very much, Kennedy. Thank you. Yes, this is shocking. And yes, there should be consequences, but no, there won't be. I guess we're done. We can talk about the Kardashians now. I just think, look, this story came out a couple years ago and got almost no coverage about John Kerry having these meetings with the Iranian foreign minister, sort of these shadowy meetings and, on the sidebar conversations outside of events or conferences around the world. And if you could find a story about those meetings, it was typically favorable towards John Kerry and covering for him because, again, like everything else over the past 4 years, boo Trump, and the press was looking for any reason to bash the previous president. So this shouldn't actually be a surprise to anybody. And it wasn't just John Kerry having these conversations. But I'll put this spin on this. And I'm going to try to put this in the best light for John Kerry and Wendy Sherman and all these people from the Biden-Obama years who were involved heavily in the Iranian negotiations for this JPOAC, the Plan of Action Agreement. I think the foreign minister of Iran proves to be probably one of the smartest people on the planet, because he ran an influence and propaganda campaign and basically meeting with, or his minions meeting with, members of the former Obama-Biden administration. I know, right? It's like Bennifer. So Zarif, the foreign minister of Iran, basically knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't talking to Kerry because he wanted to create some back channel to the Trump administration. He was talking to Kerry because he was looking to, as you say, bypass the Trump administration and gather information, atmospherics, insight, which in some circles we call intelligence, from people like John Kerry and others that they were communicating with.
Who still has security clearance.
Yeah.
I'll have you know.
Yes.
And John Kerry goes, "Well, people like me, what we do is we talk to people at conferences. That's what people like me do. We fly private planes to conferences, and then we talk to people." Is it illegal, and should he be punished?
What a load of crap it is. Because, look, I don't want to do the whataboutism. Everybody does whataboutism, whether on the left or the right. But let's think about this. Just play along this game. What if now, during the course of this next year, during the Biden administration, it becomes public that John Bolton, for instance, is meeting quietly in the shadows of conferences with the Chinese foreign minister, or one of the other members of President Trump's previous administration is meeting with, say, the North Korean lead negotiator. You imagine the uproar that this would cause. So I think it's fine. You want diplomacy, right? But you don't want a previous administration and an existing administration clashing in their agendas. And there is no way.
People were very upset when Nixon was going behind Johnson's back, directly negotiating with the South Vietnamese government. Come on, man, we can't do that. We're America. We're better than that. Mike Baker, you're the best.
No, but we are racing towards a new agreement. I guarantee that. You look at who Biden has put into his
Lance Armstrong
administration.
On a bicycle. Mike Baker, thank you so much.
We are racing, exactly.
Amen.
You're welcome.
Thank you, my dear.